Hello everyone, I hope you are doing well today. In this video, we're discussing the solution to the current group play systems in Star Citizen, that being the new updated social tools, and why these changes are fundamental for all types of gameplay for the future of Star Citizen. Before we get started, if you like what I'm doing here, feel free to subscribe. I have memberships open if you'd like to go the extra mile, and I would love to have you in the community Discord. The link will be in the description if you'd like to join. Thank you all so much for the support as we push towards that 1,000 subscriber mark. I absolutely love Star Citizen and this community, and I cannot wait to provide more coverage and news to you all as we continue on this journey. So, thank you so much for being here and supporting the channel. You all mean the world to me. And without further ado, let's talk about one of the most important upcoming additions to the game. So, to start this off, let's understand why the group play system we have currently, quite frankly, is really bad. Excluding the consistent bugs, group play is as bare bones as it could be. The UI by itself really isn't all that solid, and there is no way of connecting with other players in the game outside of global chat and physically meeting in the game. And as we know, global chat is a nightmare half the time. The party system alone feels very unsupported around the type of game Star Citizen is as well. They offer minimal information to the party members and can lack basic functionality that would add some really nice quality of life improvements. Fortunately, not only does the party system have some nice updates coming to it, the group and social systems as a whole is getting a complete revamp, which also is including player organizations. So, let's first discuss how the party system is going to improve and how this will improve your Star Citizen experience. Firstly, and the most important part of this new system is the new Party Finder tool. This tool does exactly what it says it does. It allows you to join and create your own parties for specific tasks and missions around the verse. A good example of this could be the new Hathor Align and Mine activities. If I really wanted to commit to doing this, but I also didn't have friends online, I could set up a party specifically for Align and Mine and let other players join me who want to do the same thing. If I really wanted to avoid trouble, it seems based off this screenshot that I might be able to limit this down to players who are either in an org with me or just on my friends list. They skimmed over this a little bit, but I do think that would be a really nice filter to have. And if you simply don't know what to do when you hop online, simply scroll through the party finder and you are bound to find a group or activity that you want to participate in. This change is so extremely important for Star Citizen simply because it will be our first time with real, genuine group play components that make sense for this game. Once these systems release, you will never have to use global chat to find a group again. You'll just need to use the party finder. Continuing on with some of these party system updates, we also have just general improvements to UI and party functionality. First things first, looking at this screenshot, you can just tell that the UI looks so much better and is not nearly as cluttered and confusing as it is in today's game. And it has some really nice information, including things like location of players, what and whose ships they are currently in, what ship position they are in, and a ready check system. There will also be leader functionality, so only a select few players can invite other players. These very small but important changes make the party system more interactable and just generally enjoyable overall. For me personally, this is easily my top system that I want in the game as soon as possible. I think no matter when you release these new social tools, they're going to change the game so much for players, especially like me, who hop on and kind of want to play with other players, but it's just so difficult to connect with others because you have to do it either through global chat or find them in game. And even though that works every, 1 in 5 times maybe, the party finder system will just make that so much easier. So I cannot wait for this. The other social tools that we're going to talk about are really exciting as well, but I think this will be easily the top quality of life change that CIG adds, hopefully in the near future. Now, the next big thing to mention is the new guide system and beacon system. These are partially implemented in the game now, but similar to many of the things we have currently, are very, very bare bones. First off, the guide system only exists on the website, which makes it very hard to use for new players and kind of impractical. The current beacon system as well only offers medical beacons right now. With this social update, all of this is going to change. Now, beacons will finally have systems in place to incentivize the use of them, but also lower the risk of hiring someone that is just going to gank you. Now, looking at the beacon system, the service beacon aspect of it first, this has many new updates. Firstly, you aren't going to have to pay the entire amount to put out a beacon. You'll be able to put a small amount of UEC in, and then a guild will pay the rest of the beacon, with either credits or a reputation of sorts. There's also now a trust system on both sides of the coin as well. Players who need a beacon will be able to gather information on proficiency levels to see how successful the responding player is for certain beacons. Responding players can also see if the player who put out the beacon has been successful with the past 5 beacons they have put out. These small but informative systems will at the very least minimize your chances of simply getting murdered when you try to help people out, but also allow for some rewarding gameplay. Now, the guide system by itself is actually going to be very similar to the service beacons, though in this case, you will need to meet some requirements before you can become a guide for a certain aspect of the game. I don't think that's the same case for service beacons, so I think that's arguably the biggest difference. They will still act like service beacons where you actually put out a beacon and a guide will respond and help you out with whatever you need help with. But I think for the most part, these systems are very similar. I really think that the biggest changes here that we're going to get is not only bringing the guide system in game, but allowing you to just understand the people responding and hosting these beacons, just so it's a little bit safer for the players that want to actually do it, as well as just incentivizing you with a few more rewards and making you pay less money to actually put beacons out. I think it's a solid way of kind of incentivizing more group and social play. So I really like it and I cannot wait for that change. Now, the last big update here has to do with orgs. These updates are going to be massive because it finally brings orgs into the game and brings functionality that will help significantly with communication and coordination. The first new and most obvious addition is going to be the ability to apply and join orgs within the game. As a matter of fact, you'll be able to be a part of multiple orgs. You can represent one org at a time, but switch in between them whenever you'd like. There will also be some more org functionality, which will include announcements, an org calendar, org information, and events info. One of the biggest positives easily to joining an org will be the benefits you receive based on what type of org you're in and what contributions you make to that org. To put it very simply, your org will be aligned with a certain guild based off of the work you do. As your org progresses through that line of work, you'll earn more benefits from that specific guild. You'll also have your own personal loyalty within each org. Now, this will allow you to unlock your own personal benefits, but also basically be a way of you actually unlocking the org alignment bonuses that your org unlocked prior. I think this is mainly just a restriction so that players don't constantly hop from org to org looking for the best benefits. So, in order to actually get the benefits, you'll need to progress through your own loyalty, basically showing that you want to be in this org and you want to work for them. Either way, I think this is a great system, and I think having rewards for your org by itself is going to be a really positive thing and incentivize org play. Now, one of the other changes we have coming as well will be the ability for you to provide certain privileges and restrictions through ranks. I think this simply will be really nice for just making sure your org doesn't get totally messed up when players start joining it, allowing you to give people that you trust access to higher ranks and then newer members as well, just a lower rank so they are members but they can't really edit any of the information for your org. Generally, I think this is a nice quality of life thing and it'll be cool to have ranks within orgs. Now, something that I'm super excited about when it comes to orgs, I think is going to be the kind of fundamental groundwork for the whole PvP in game is going to be rivalries and alliances between orgs. Now, this easily deserves its own video, so I don't want to talk about it too much here. But to put it pretty simply, you're going to be able to invite other orgs to be a part of alliances and whatnot. And then, of course, you're going to be able to declare war on other orgs as well. This is going to be pretty accurately represented in game for your nameplates. So for every nameplate at the start, it'll show you what org you're in, and then of course your username. And then based off of the color of your nameplate, that'll be a way of basically judging if it's a kill on site, if it's a neutral player, or if it's a friend or other fellow org or alliance member. I think personally this is going to provide so much purpose to PvP comparatively to what we have now. Right now it's just a like shoot first, ask questions later. And in this case, you'll actually be able to see, hey, is this an enemy? Is this a friend? What should I do in this situation? Am I even in a zone where I should be killing someone, or am I just going to get killed by law enforcement? It's going to provide a lot more purpose to actually, engaging in PvP. And I think that's really exciting, especially with how the game flows right now. It's PvP literally everywhere. So giving some more purposeful PvP will be a really, really solid thing that I simply cannot wait for. Now, the last big thing that is going to be coming with this org update is going to be the ability to have org themed clothes, armors, ship skins, base building, and space stations that basically represent your org in a color scheme that goes along with your org. This by itself is a super cool feature that players will be able to use to actually, match with other players and have just a little bit more of an immersive environment when you're with your org. I think this will be a big part of org operations as well, especially when you're attacking a base. You're going to be able to actually have a bit of an identifier for who's on your team and who's not. And I think that'll be a really, really awesome way of representing your org, but also looking really cool at the same time. So I can't wait for that. I think that'll be an awesome thing to see around the verse whenever we get that in game. Besides that, though, that's going to be the majority of the big social updates that are going to be, in my opinion, game changing for Star Citizen as a whole. There's a few things here and there mentioned that I haven't said in this video. Things like VoIP and FOIP, just the vocal stuff that is important, but not nearly as fundamental as all these other features by itself. I think, again, these social updates are going to be massive for this game and actually providing a better multiplayer experience for players and actually allowing players to hop on and find groups and just have a good time without, scrolling through global chat for as long as they can. So, besides that, though, I really appreciate you being here. That's going to wrap it up for these social updates for Star Citizen. I really hope we get these in game as soon as possible. I know they were in the concept phase during CitizenCon, so that was a little disappointing, but hopefully they're making good work on that and we'll get that in our hands as soon as possible. We missed a few things like FOIP and VoIP, but I think what we talked about here is mainly the fundamental stuff for creating a better social experience in Star Citizen. Besides that, thank you so much for watching and being here. Like I said at the start of the video, we are about to hit the 1,000 subscriber mark, and that is just a massive milestone for me personally. I cannot thank each and every single one of you enough for sticking around, watching, commenting, subscribing, joining the Discord. Every single thing that you guys have done has helped me and supported me and pushed me to actually get to the point I am today. And I simply, again, I cannot thank you enough for that. I'm just, just a random fella that loved talking about Star Citizen and finally decided to talk about it on YouTube. And it's one of the best things I've ever done. And I'm so glad I did it just because it's been such an awesome experience. I appreciate you all listening to my opinion and me being cautiously optimistic about this game. We're all here because, we want this game to succeed and it's kind of that dream game. And I really can't wait to not only put more coverage about it in the future, but whenever we finally get to that point, I cannot wait to experience the dream with all of you and just have a really fun time playing a game and, you know, just having a good time. So, again, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to be talking about the monthly report tomorrow. If it is interesting, it probably will be, but we're going to be talking about that tomorrow and getting a video out for you guys. Besides that, remember, thank you so much for being here. You are everything to me. You are the reason why I am here today, being able to talk to you. So, thank you so much. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next video.